This is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Tuesday, February 24, 2026. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN, and TARZEE TV in Bartica. In the headlines, ExxonMobil puts US $100 million behind President Ali's STEM initiative. High Court upholds key provisions of the Fugitive Offenders Act in Mohameds Constitutional challenge. Colourful celebrations part of Guyana's Republic anniversary. And in sport, hope heaps praises on Guyanese duo Hetmyer and Motie after World Cup victory. And new GMR&SC President Shairaz Roshandin preaches inclusivity with GT3 Series in July, his priority. With the news, I'm Kurt Campbell. Thank you for joining us. First up, ExxonMobil has contributed US $100 million, or more than Guyana $20 billion, to a new initiative, part of President Dr. Irfaan Ali's ambitious agenda to transform the local education sector, focusing on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. ExxonMobil's Chair and Chief Executive Officer Darren Woods announced the US $100 million support aimed at strengthening science, technology, and mathematics education across the country on Monday night. The announcement was made during an engagement at State House, which was hosted by President Ali and First Lady Arya Ali.
I'm extremely pleased to announce the ExxonMobil Guyana STEM initiative, a $100 million US dollar investment over the next decade to reinvent and strengthen education in science, technology, and math all across Guyana. STEM is the foundation for every modern society. These disciplines will help to power Guyana's success in the 21st century. Later this year, we'll launch comprehensive teacher training for secondary math and science education in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the University of Guyana, building on a strong partnership that have supported education and workforce development for years. Additionally, we'll establish a nationwide network of student STEM centers, with the first starting in Georgetown at the University of Guyana, somewhere around 2028, 2029. These centers will provide hands-on STEM learning for teens and young adults across the country, and will mirror a successful model that President Ali visited in the States last year. Our goal is very simple: inspiring the next generation of Guyana's engineers and scientists by working with the students and the teachers who educate them. Over the next decade, the Guyana STEM Initiative will train thousands of educators and reach tens of thousands of students across the country.
The High Court on Monday upheld three contested provisions of Guyana's Fugitive Offenders Act as constitutional, clearing a significant legal hurdle in the extradition proceedings against US indicted businessmen Azruddin Mohammed and his father Nazar Mohammed. In a 26-page written ruling, Chief Justice Davinder Singh found that Sections 8.3a, Sections 8.3ab, and Section 8.3bc of the Act are not inconsistent with the Constitution. However, the court declared that Section 8.3bb is unconstitutional. The constitutional challenge was brought by the Mohammeds, who are contesting the legality of several amendments to the Act under which they face possible extradition to the United States. Both men were not present in court for the decision, which was not read in full but distributed in writing to the parties. The applicants had argued that four provisions of the Act violated constitutional protections. The Chief Justice rejected the majority of these arguments, dismissing the challenge in relation to three of the four sections. The only provision struck down, Section 8.3bb, dealt with the interpretation of extradition arrangements where certain protections may not be expressly stated in a treaty or foreign law. Outside the courtroom, Attorney General Anil Nandlal described the ruling as largely favorable to the state and said it allows the extradition process to continue. He stated that the court essentially dismissed the constitutional claims with the exception of one subsection which he argued has no practical impact on the extradition proceedings. According to Nandlal, existing legal safeguards and undertakings provided by the United States, specifically that the Mohammeds would not be extradited onward to a third country without Guyana's consent, render the invalidated section inconsequential. Nandlal further pointed to provisions within the extradition treaty itself that prohibit onward extradition without authorization from the Guyanese authorities. Attorney Roysdale Ford, who leads the defense team, disagreed with the Attorney General's characterization of the outcome. He maintained that the section struck down was a central plank of the defense constitutional arguments and said the ruling on that provision was significant. Ford suggested that the state may consider its own appeal, although the Attorney General has not indicated any such intention. With 3 of the 4 challenged sections upheld, the framework of the Fugitive Offenders Act remains intact. The ruling allows for the extradition proceedings against Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed to move forward, subject to any appeals that may be filed. The extradition matter is set to continue on Thursday in the Magistrates Court, where the committal proceedings will resume, while a separate judicial review application that was previously dismissed is now the subject of an appeal. We tell you now that Attorney General Anil Nandlal on Monday again raised concerns about delays in the extradition proceedings against U.S. indicted businessmen Azruddin Mohammed and Nazar Mohammed, noting that 4 months after the United States formally requested their surrender, the matter remains unresolved in the Magistrates Court. The U.S. extradition request was transmitted at the end of October 2025 following indictments issued in the Southern District of Florida. The Mohammeds were subsequently arrested and brought before a magistrate, where committal proceedings began under Guyana's Fugitive Offenders Act. Since then, the case has been the subject of multiple legal challenges in the High Court.
And here it is, even though you had adjournments, you have these proceedings being concluded with reasonable dispatch, though they began long after the proceedings started in the Magistrates Court. You have been in these proceedings from the inception. You saw the dozens of pages of pleadings that were filed. You saw the dozens of pages of submissions that were made. You saw how many lawyers were permitted to argue. And yet, all these proceedings are concluded. And that one in the Magistrate Court continues to languish. What is even more telling is the fact that the Chief Justice's previous ruling was appealed by the Mohammeds, and the appellate court has already given directions on how we are to proceed, and a date has already been fixed for the presentation of arguments. And yet, the Magistrate Court continues to be the subject of deliberate strategies to delay, both from the lawyers as well as from the subjects. You hearing fabricated medical explanations proffered. You hearing explanations that one person was admitted to the hospital, when in fact, when the hospital records were checked, the person was never admitted. Photographs are taken with persons on a bed. Then you have another hair-raising tale about tires being slashed, about cars being broken into. All these are deliberate, concocted stories to dilate and delay the matter. And unfortunately, they seem to be yielding success in the Magistrates Court.
All police stations are being equipped with tint meters, and motorists are encouraged to visit these facilities to ensure their vehicles are in compliance with the legal requirements, which will be implemented from April 1st, 2026.
In a matter of 5 weeks, the new guidelines governing tinted motor vehicles will be fully implemented. The regulations are contained in the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Tint Regulations 2026. Ahead of that, All police stations are being equipped with tint meters, and motorists are being encouraged to visit any police station to have their tinted vehicles tested for compliance. Inspector Marvin Ford, who is stationed at the Bromveld Police Station, made a disclosure during a recent episode of the Road Safety and Youth program.
You could bring your vehicle in at various stations, have it tested for the right level of tint, and you're okay. Any station you could go to, every station is being issued a tint meter. So you could take your vehicle there, have it tested, as long as with requirement, you're good to go.
According to the regulations contained in Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Tint Regulations 2026, motorists have until March 30th, 2026 to ensure their vehicles meet the legal requirements. After that date, full enforcement will begin and non-compliance will attract fines and other penalties under the law. Under the new rules, no tint is permitted on the front windscreen except for a visor. The visor must not exceed 6 inches from the top of the windscreen if it is less than 3 feet in height, or 10 inches if the windscreen is 3 feet or taller. Front side windows must have a minimum visible light transmission (VLT) of 25%, while rear side windows and the rear windscreen must allow a minimum VLT of 20%. Drivers from operating vehicles with tint darker than the prescribed limits will face a $30,000 fine. The same penalty applies to anyone applying tint that exceeds the permitted level. Tint inspections will be conducted using collaborated tint meters provided by the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, GNBS, and readings from these devices will be admissible in court proceedings. For the newsroom, Charlotte Bacchus.
Guyana's sovereignty in focus as Republic anniversary celebrated. More when the newsroom returns. Welcome back to the newsroom. President Dr. Irfaan Ali reaffirmed Guyana's territorial integrity and sovereignty in his address to the nation in observance of the country's 56th Republic anniversary. The president's reaffirmation of the country's territorial integrity and sovereignty comes just days after the 60th anniversary of the signing of the Geneva Agreement. This treaty established the framework for resolving the long-standing border controversy with neighboring Venezuela.
A nation cannot build if it has fear at its borders. Our valiant men and women in uniform stand vigilant, their capability boosted with unprecedented resources. And on the world stage, when it comes to the defense of our territory, we've assembled an able and capable team to argue the validity of the 1899 arbitral award before the International Court of Justice. Let no one be mistaken. History and international law are on our side. Our borders are sacred and we will defend them. On that note, as a collective unit, one collective whole, the Guyanese people, we thank our men and women in uniform. We thank them again and again for their selfless service. Know that your home, your land, and your brothers and sisters hold you up every day in strength, honor, and dignity.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali on Saturday announced a bold push to ensure that all bottled water consumed locally is produced in Guyana within the next year, as he outlined a transformative vision for the country's water sector. Speaking at the commissioning of the 5 Miles water treatment plant in Bartica, the head of state said Guyana, known as the land of many waters, must move decisively to optimize its freshwater wealth and reduce dependence on imported bottled water. According to Guyana Water Incorporated, locally treated and bottled water can be produced and sold for approximately $100 per bottle or less when operational costs are efficiently managed.
We can't be such a resource-rich country in fresh water and be importing bottled water. This ministry must therefore set its sight on a target of ensuring that all our water consumed locally is produced locally in the next 12 months. Whether we have to collaborate, and we must collaborate with the private sector to ensure that they build up their capacity and capability. Every entity don't need to have a water blower, the bottle blower. We can have one entity that produces all of the plastic bottle at standard size across the country so that we have economies of scale.
The Ministry of Agriculture is set to launch the new digital app aimed at improving farmers' access to real-time agricultural support, including soil management guidance and weather forecasts. The announcement was made by Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa during his appearance on the Starting Point podcast at the weekend. Mustafa explained that the platform will offer area-specific recommendations outlining which crops are best suited for the different regions across the country.
I will be launching an app where anyone can go on that app and get all the information on agriculture, right? So you get in the weather forecast, you get in the area where you can, if you put from Nari, you get all the soil map in our country. So if you go into Blackbush Polder, it will tell you what kind of crop can grow in Blackbush Polder. You go to Linden, and that will happen. You will see different area, what are the type of crop you should plant to get better market for it. So all the information that related to agriculture will be in one app, and that will be, everybody can get that, right? So that is the first one we digitalize. The next one, we are building a data center and a situation room. That data center, I am hoping by March, the president should commission that data center. And that data center would not be only for Guyana, but the entire Caribbean. We will have one center like that in the entire Caribbean and Latin America, in Costa Rica, where ICA has its headquarters. We went there, and the president saw it, and he said that we should build one in Guyana. We are about 75% completed already. So we hopefully by March, we can commission that. You will have the weather for the entire region. You'll have what kind of crop you could plant in various countries. You'll have the, what type of soils exist in these countries, and number of information. In the fishing industry, like other agriculture sector, farmers don't take technology seriously. Right. They want to do things how they used to do it before, or how their foreparents used to do things. So we want to change that concept. We want to change that culture.
Opposition parliamentarian Ganesh Mahipal has admitted that he did not anticipate the scale of the 2025 election loss, but says his own post-mortem may hold the answers to the APNU's defeat and what the coalition must do next. The election results saw a significant demotion for the APNU in Parliament. While it remained in opposition, the APNU now has 12 seats in the National Assembly, down from 31 it held with the AFC in the last session. The AFC has failed altogether to secure a single seat on its own, but 3 APNU MPs have returned with the newly formed We Invest in Nationhood win. Amanza Walton Desir is going it alone with a single seat and representing the Forward Guyana movement, a party she started after a fallout with the APNU. Now, months after the poll, he says, his post-mortem of the elections is that APNU's defeat was driven as much by internal weakness as external forces.
Greater unity. I think that was a major factor in our in bringing us down to 12. I think we have to display greater unity. I believe we are on that road. I believe we are on that road of showing to the population that we are a united team now. I think we are on the road of demonstrating that we have the ability to be firm in our approach. I think we need to engage with the people some more, and we need to continue to hold government accountable and distinguish ourselves from the other players in the game. I think one of the unfair thing that myself and others like me are facing in the APNU is that we're asked to answer for things we know nothing about. And between 2015 and 2020, several people are pointing fingers to us, and we were nowhere between 2015 and 2020. But you can't want to defend 2015 to 2020 and talk of all the good the APNU did and not want to also take ownership of the bad.
When the newsroom returns, we take you through some of this year's matrimony events. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. Guyana commemorated its 56th Republic anniversary with the customary road parade across the streets of Georgetown. Revelers dressed in colorful costumes danced behind massive floats as thousands of onlookers enjoyed the display. The newsroom's Davin Ramnarayan captured these highlights.
Jumping, you're repping. When you're whining, you're repping. Always representing. I see you repping when you're venting, you're repping. When you're drinking, you're repping. Always representing. I say hello, hello, hello. Look at people, beautiful people. Come let we play, come let we play a mass. Play together, yes that is the art. No matter where we roam, no matter where we go, there is no place like home, sweet home. No matter where we fly, we gotta realize you must go back home. Come home, come home. Tell me where you're born, show me where you grow, show me where you come from, country or island. Tell me where you're born, show me where you grow, show me where you come from, country or island. I see you repping when you're jumping, you're repping. When you're whining, you're repping. Always representing.
Adrian Dutchin won the 2026 Soca Monarch competition with his hit song, Born and Grow, with his spectacular performance paying homage to Guyana. This is now his 7th Soca Monarch title. The newsroom's Shaquille Burnett and Deandra Daniels were in Linden for the Soca Monarch competition.
How does it feel tonight to once again win the Soca Monarch competition?
First of all, let me give praises and thanks to God. 7 times, this was the hardest Soca Monarch, and I'll tell you the truth, like seeing everybody perform and then going perform after them, I said to myself, listen, I'm going to use strategy, I'm going to use the crowd, and the crowd was for me tonight. And I figure it don't matter what nobody came with, it was just born. Performing this song was a joy, and I just have to give all the praises and thanks to God.
Sonia Singh won this year's Mashramani Chutney Monarch competition with her hit song Gilbaka Curry. Following behind was the Berbice boy Simon Nandu, and then Amrita Harinarayan in 3rd place and OKC the artist in 4th. Cardiac was judged the best newcomer. Here are some newsroom Avidesh Narayan snippets of their performances.
I am a nice girl from Guyana. I am a nice girl from Guyana. And I could go real good Gilbaka. I am a nice girl from Guyana. And I could go real good Gilbaka. Watch your roti, that's all plenty now. So don't be afraid to be my lover. It's hot, it's hot, I roti and Gilbaka curry. It's hot, I roti and Gilbaka curry. You're the one I always need.
wanna come. She love another. She does even tell people like the brother. But I don't bother. Hey, she can be my weekend lover. Yes, I don't bother. She can be my weekend lover. So I call up she mother and she father. I said, please the control of your daughter. They say don't bother. She can be your weekend lover. Yes, I don't bother. She can be your weekend. I want to see some hands in the air like this. Let me go.
When the newsroom returns to financial, weather and bridge reports along with sport news, stay with us.
Welcome back to Newsroom. Avinash Ramsan here with tonight's sport. We're starting us off with some cricket news. Shimron Hetmyer made a stunning 85 of 34 balls as West Indies began their T20 World Cup Super 8 stage with an emphatic 107-run win victory over Zimbabwe. Hetmyer hit 7 sixes and 7 fours as he mixed finesse with power at a strike rate of 250 to help West Indies post a mammoth 254 for 6. The left-handed Guyanese was dropped twice by Tashinga Mosikiwa on 9 and 70 before he was eventually caught at deep mid-wicket by Brian Bennett of the experienced spinner Graham Creamer. Rovman Powell then upped the ante after a patient start to chip in with a 35-ball 59 before middle-order cameos from Shafin Rutherford, Romario Shepherd and Jason Holder provided for the impetus. West Indies' total was the second highest in T20 World Cup history, behind Sri Lanka's 260 for 6 against Kenya in 2007. No side had ever successfully chased more than 230 at Wankhede Stadium in T20 internationals or in the Indian Premier League, and Zimbabwe soon found themselves in trouble. Akil Hussain bowled Bennett, Zimbabwe's leading run scorer, with a beauty for 5, then 3 balls later snared Ryan Burl for a duck to leave the Chevrons reeling at 20 for 3 in the third over. Fellow left-arm spinner Guyanese Motie then ran through the Zimbabwe middle order en route to 4 for 28, starting the run with a peach of a delivery to dismiss Dion Myers for 28. With the game long gone, Brad Evans added some respectability to the margin of defeat with a defiant late hitting, whacking 5 sixes in his 21-ball 43 in a record 10th wicket stand at the World Cup of 44 with Richard Nagavara. And West Indies captain Shai Hope has heaped praises on left-arm spinner Guyanese Motie after his career-best spell against Zimbabwe in their first Super 8 game of the T20 World Cup. Motie finished with 4 for 28 of 4 overs, one of which was a maiden. At one point, he was on a hat-trick as West Indies comfortably won by 107 runs after making a mammoth 254 for 6. At a post-match press conference, Hope spoke of Motie's impact and the work the Guyanese has been doing to continuously transform his game.
Motie, he got a little period before, I was thinking it was the New Zealand series, and he went home, worked on some skills. You can see he's back to where he was before. He even added something to his game as well. That wrist spinner has been very, very crucial for us, especially against the lefties. But yeah, sometimes your time away from the game always gives you a nice chance to just refresh and regroup. And as I said, work on any small money areas that you may want to focus on. So he's in a great space, and I could say the same for everyone. I think we all gelling the way we want and be playing cricket when it's necessary. So just about to keep that momentum and continue on in this vein.
And West Indies T20 captain Shai Hope has labelled Shimron Hetmyer a quality player as the Guyanese left-hander continues to own the number 3 position in the T20 batting order. Since taking up the role in the series against South Africa this year, Hetmyer has scored 390 runs in 8 innings at an average of 65 with 3 fifths. Against Zimbabwe in the Super 8s of the ongoing T20 World Cup, the left-hander slammed 85 of 34 balls, his highest score in T20 internationals.
He's a quality player, and the way how he's batting, I think sometimes he's kind of wasted down the bottom in the innings. He's such a good player. He can bat in all situations, spin, pace, and to utilize him in that phase, and he comes out and plays with that freedom that we wanted to play with. So he's been an asset for us, especially in this tournament. We gave him the role from South Africa, and he's embraced it. He started with a bang, and he's continued with that great form. So happy to see him scoring runs, and everyone supporting him along the way, and giving that team, giving the team a big score for the bowlers to defend. So I'm happy with that.
Meanwhile, England have booked a place in the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup with victory over Pakistan in Palakkele. Set a target of 165, England were indebted to their skipper Harry Brook, who made an even 100 of 51 balls, even as wickets were tumbling around him. The right-hander struck 10 fours and 4 sixes to lead England to a 2-wicket win with 5 balls to spare. Will Jacks played a crucial hand with 28 of 23 as Shaheen Shah Afridi claimed 4 for 30, while there were 2 wickets each for Usman Tariq and Mohammad Nawaz. Earlier opener Sahibzada Farhan continued his fine form with 63 of 45 to guide Pakistan to 164 for 9, a total that was inadequate in the end, leaving Pakistan in a challenging position to make the final 4. Liam Dawson took 3 wickets, while there were 2 each for Jofra Archer and Jamie Overton. Super 8 matches continue on Wednesday, with Sri Lanka playing New Zealand from 9 hours 30. Motor racing news now. In a massive landslide victory on Saturday evening, Mohameds Shairaz Roshandin was elected the new president of the Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club at the club's annual general meeting and election of office bearers. Roshandin, the former vice president, ousted the incumbent president Mahindra Rajguru 123-61 as members turned out in their numbers to vote at the largest AGM in recent times. The new president committed to working with all stakeholders, even those who did not vote for him, and at the top of his priority will be ensuring the best of Guyana is on show when the club hosts the GT Challenge de las Americas on July 11th and 12th at the South Dakota Circuit. Also elected members were Vice President Aline Hopkinson, Secretary Azim Jafar, Treasurer Asad Hassan, Assistant Secretary Treasurer Ritesh Singh, Club Captain Ramiz Mohammed, and Technical Advisor Stephen Jeffrey. The committee members are Ilan Rahaman, Shamroy Ramsingh, Ashley Prasad, and Krishna Ramsewa. Additionally, a motion by Jad Rahaman was adopted to move the term of the executive from 1 year to 2 years.
Quite a landslide victory. How do you feel about this?
I feel really good. I must thank all my supporters that came out and all the members who put their trust in me. The ones who did not put their trust in me, that's okay. We'll work together.
Look, you talk about working together. What is your first plan of action whenever you guess the committee sits down? What are some stuff you're looking to get done?
Okay, so the first thing on my agenda is the GT3 Las Americas. We have to get that in order to showcase Guyana. Guyana needs to be at its best, and our members is the one who want to make it the best. So we're going to work towards getting that sorted out.
But Shairaz, back to the results. The margin of victory is quite huge. What does that say, I guess, about what the members of the GMR&SC want currently?
I think more it's about Raj had a 4-year term and motor racing need a new face. And I'm here, the best person would have been the vice president because we already know the game plan of GMR&SC and how to move it forward.
In terms of 2 years, that motion was passed. Tell me about, I guess, how more effective and efficient that will make the executive.
Well, now we are having 2 years in a succession. That now we can secure better sponsorship. We can plan better. We can have a 2-year plan rather than we don't actually get a 1-year plan. This is February already. If it was a 1 year, we only got like 10 months planning. So now we have 22 months planning. We will get more done.
Football news now. The national men's under-20 football team will have a steep mountain to climb if it is to top a formidable Group D and progress at the upcoming CONCACAF qualifiers in Willemstad. Guyana find themselves in a high-quality Group D alongside regional powerhouses Haiti and the talented Curacao side playing on home soil. Head coach Thomas Dooley has been candid about the challenge, describing the Golden Jaguars as underdogs. Despite attack, there is growing sense of enthusiasm within the Guyanese camp that an upset is possible. Guyana's first match is against the host nation Curacao on February 24th at 20 hours, followed by Anguilla on February 28th at 17 hours, Haiti on March 2nd at 20 hours, and then St. Vincent and the Grenadines on March 4th at 17 hours. After round-robin play, the first-place team from each group will advance to the 2026 CONCACAF Under-20 Championship, joining the 6 top-ranked nations that are pre-qualified directly to the tournament, which will also serve as the qualifying competition for both the 2027 FIFA Men's Under-20 World Cup and the 2028 Summer Olympics. The squad reads Walker Shabazz Edwards, Sheldon Kendall, Reese Paris, Emmanuel Lewis, Troy Andrews, Jaden Thom, Isaiah Eiffel, Candell Hazel, Shaquan David, Jamal Fraser, Quincy Fraser, Brian Wharton, Jaden Harris, Luke Langevine, Matthew Clark, Michael Joseph, Dakari Drakes, Nijar Tetchball, Max Robinson, Jermaine Mitchell, and Mark Phillips.
Obviously, we are working on the basics and we're working on the mentality, and we are the underdog. If you're looking at the list, they have 13, 14 players playing in Holland, PSV Eindhoven, Willem II, all those big clubs, and they are playing in the second team, and then in the Milan, in the Miami and everything. So obviously they are I don't think that they are weaker than Haiti. So Haiti is number one in there. So obviously for us, we're going in there as an underdog and just trying to survive against them and trying to play as good as we can.
In that regards, what are some things you're hoping that they execute and look to hit high marks in then?
It's the way we think. We need to change the way we think. So if we can do that, then we will change the way we play or train, and in the end result is we change the way we play. But timing is short. I mean, we got the international players who came in like 2 days ago. That's the first training session for them. So it's kind of, nothing is perfect in the preparation. I don't know how long Curaçao is already in the camp and working together with those high quality players. Haiti, I'm sure they have nothing over there besides football. They are working together for weeks and months to preparing for this. So it's kind of, you know, everything happens for a reason. So, and we have to go through the mentality part to get to the next step, and that's what we're working on.
Against the top quality teams, we see ourselves as a top quality team because we are one, and it will be a competition, but I know that the team we have here and the practices we've had, we will win.
And finally, boxing news. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather have agreed a professional rematch in September. Pacquiao, 47, and Mayweather, 48, will fight in Las Vegas on Saturday, September 19th, with the bout live on Netflix. Former world champion Mayweather announced he would come out of retirement for a fourth time last week. It will be the American's first professional bout since beating mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor with a 10th round technical knockout in 2017. Filipino Pacquiao retired from the sport to focus on his political career in 2021, but returned to the ring last July to fight WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios, who retained his title after a draw. Mayweather and Pacquiao first met in 2015 in what was billed as the fight of the century and remains the richest in boxing history. It was Mayweather who emerged victorious, beating Pacquiao via a unanimous decision in Las Vegas. It is not yet known over how many rounds or at what weight class the rematch will be contested. And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. Of course, you can find updates on these and other stories on our website, newsroom.gy, and all social media platforms. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for watching. Be safe. See you next time.